have always had a lifelong passion for travel. By the time I was in my early 20s, I had already lived in Mexico 3 times, twice when I was in high school over the summers in San Miguel de Allende, and later with my future husband, we lived in Zihuatanejo and worked in Estapa at a hotel right when they were building it up into a resort facility. By the time I was in my late 30s, I had added on several trips to the Orient, specifically Japan, where my brother lives. He's actually been living in Tokyo, in Shibuya, a suburb in Tokyo, for, oh my gosh, I think over 40 years now. He's actually lived in Japan longer than he ever lived in the United States. In my 50s, I decided to take a little trip to Florence. I stayed for 2 months. I had a fabulous time. And then in 2017, I left the country with just a carry-on suitcase and a backpack with plans to be gone for over a year. I really didn't know if I was going to end up coming back to the U.S. to live. I was open to all the options. I traveled to Tulum. I stayed in Ecuador and met so many wonderful friends, had a wonderful time. And back up to Mexico, I was lucky to enjoy life in San Miguel de Allende and actually rented a fabulous house that I had intended to keep renting for a long time to come. I never get tired of seeing this beautiful world. There is so much excitement out there, and it is just as fun now in my later 60s as it was when I was in my teens, 20s, 30s, and beyond. In my trip out of the country, with just the backpack and the carry-on suitcase, without a doubt, the most remarkable, the most gorgeous, the most memorable, the most delicious, the most fabulous memory I have is of Bacalar, specifically the Bacalar Lagoon. If you're not familiar with Bacalar, and why would you be, it is almost a little known destination. It is a lagoon in the Yucatan of Mexico, and it is absolutely stunning. This body of water, once you're in it, you're going to feel like you're in the Maldives. Crystal clear, wonderful temperature, filled with minerals. There are cenotes in the lagoon. There are little rapids in the lagoon. It is absolutely one of the most stunning places, if not the most stunning place I have visited in my lifetime. And ladies, that is going to be our main destination for the inaugural trip for the Pretty Wild Travel Club. And I couldn't be more excited. This is such a dream for me to be able to go back to Bacalar, to see it bigger and better and more in depth than before, and to be joined with avid travelers that are going to love it as much as I do. Our trip will start in Cancun, where we'll take a chauffeured van to Bacalar, staying in very comfortable accommodations. We'll enjoy a fabulous tour of the lagoon to learn more about this incredible landscape in this part of Mexico. We'll have the opportunity to swim, to kayak, to paddleboard, or just leisurely lay on the beautiful sand, gazing out over the blue waters. I absolutely cannot wait to go back. It is a magical place. And you know what's exciting to me is that Bacalar is just on the edge of becoming really well known. And we have the opportunity to get there, enjoy, be together, and do all the fabulous things before they open the floodgates to the crowds that are going to acknowledge what an incredible location this is. After a few fabulous days in Bacalar, we're going to be heading to the area of Tulum, where we'll not only enjoy that fabulous beach town. I lived there for 4 months. I can tell you, it is extraordinary. We will also be visiting the Mayan ruins of Chichen Itza, which is an incredible site. We will have a private tour guide that's going to take us through the entire history of the UNESCO World Heritage Site that is Chichen Itza, and it's going to be an incredible day. We'll visit cenotes, we'll have fabulous meals, we'll be able to bob in the warm Caribbean waters. It's going to be an extraordinary trip. So far, we have the trip pretty much put together. We're just finalizing some of the details, but I do have a link in the description box where you can go to the travel page and see the entire itinerary for the trip. Truly, it's going to be probably one of the most memorable weeks of my life. But you're not just going to get me. My wonderful friend Suzanne is going to be joining me along the trip. You might know her if you follow my thrifting channel here on YouTube, Studio Kimberly. She is the owner of the Swan Song Vintage Shop here in Redmond, Oregon, and she's going to be working with me to make sure that you have the best week possible. When I first announced this trip in a live a few weeks ago, and if you didn't see that video and you'd like to, I'll have that listed in the description box down below. We had over 300 comments, most of them saying, yeah, I'm super interested in a trip. I kind of knew where I wanted to focus at that time, but I didn't mention it and I didn't say a destination. And lots of you told me that you were interested in a trip, that you would prefer if it was girls only, and that you really didn't care where we went. With this trip, we have 16 spots available. Now, the numbers might seem a little daunting because if there was 300 comments and most of them said, yes, I'm interested in a trip, and only 16 spots available, we do have a little bit of figuring out to do. What I'm going to share with you, if you're watching this video, you caught it early and you're interested, is I have created a separate early bird list when the trip is open for booking. Now you can go over to the travel page now and read the entire itinerary for the trip, but we've just got a few more details to put together, so it's not actually open for booking. That's going to happen probably early next week. If you want to jump ahead of the line, here's what you can do. In the description box below this video, there's a link for the early bird list for the Pretty Wild Travel Club, and you will be notified 24 hours in advance once the trip is open for booking. In other words, this list, the list linked in the description box down below, you're going to have a 24-hour head start to grab one of those 16 spots. The list is super easy to sign up. You just click the link, it's free, that whole thing, but that is your in to kind of jump ahead in the line if you're interested. I do think the trip is going to be open for booking sometime early to mid next week. So when we determine a date that the trip is going to go live for booking, I will send an email to you guys on the early bird list 24 hours in advance before I send it to the rest of my email list. It's also going to be featured in the Sunday morning email newsletter, so there's going to be a good advantage to being on that early bird list. If you have any questions about the details of the trip, where we're going, what each day is going to be, go ahead and click over to the travel page. Everything is laid out there, including a day-by-day itinerary, what's included in the trip, and everything we'll be doing. And I'll tell you, I cannot wait to go. I cannot wait to go. It's going to be in February when we're all sick of the winter weather, and we're going to have an opportunity to go somewhere extraordinarily beautiful and have a fabulous time with a bunch of incredible women. One thing I want to tell you about Bacalar and why it has such a place in my heart is not only is it extraordinarily beautiful, it is a recreation paradise. You can do whatever you want on the water. You can paddleboard, you can kayak, you can just swim, you can lay by the shore and listen to the birds singing. It is such an extraordinary place. but the town of Bacalar is very, very ecologically minded. They understand the gift they have with the Bacalar Lagoon, and they're doing everything right in order to keep that lagoon pristine and healthy and in beautiful condition for decades to come. So not only is it a gorgeous place, but we're going to a spot where they really understand the incredible beauty that they have. So I think those are all the details I wanted to share with you about the inaugural trip for the Pretty Wild Travel Club. And I'll tell you, if this goes well, if we all have fun, I think it might be the start of something big. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's so exciting for me to put this together. I love traveling. I love traveling with people who love traveling. I think it's going to be a fabulous time. Suzanne and I cannot wait to welcome you along on this incredible journey. We're going to be making fabulous memories. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. I hope to see you in Bacalar, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.